back to the Open World podcast.
What's this, episode 9?
Yeah. Episode 9 with your boy.
What's new? Just playing with D like that every time.
Come on, man.
Alright, yeah, bro. We about 2 months into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of figuring out every step. We taking little baby steps and stuff. Shout out Graham behind the cam.
Yeah, behind the camera, the man.
Yeah. What's been going on this week for you? Or the past?
Shit, you know, we had the OU Texas party and the fucking the OU Texas party and then the fights. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then the UFC fights and then the Tyson Fury versus Wilder. That shit was fucking live.
Yeah.
And that shit was just a good ass day. The way that the sports lined up and the way we came back on that ass was just profound, maybe.
We don't want to talk about y'all coming back on nothing. Calm down.
I learned about myself intellectually through that W.
Spencer Rattler ass.
I don't know. He did that same shit last year too when we played. He was on that same type of shit and then bro had to come in and save him.
So do you think they're gonna rid him, not start him? Or do you think they're gonna split time, Caleb Williams and
I think they should bench him the next game, let bro get another like a full game in
and see how he do.
Yeah, and then go from there. Because if you keep putting bro in, he's just gonna keep, like if you look at his stats and shit, he's been playing like ass, bro, against like Tulane and you know what I'm saying, bumfuck Nebraska and shit. Like it doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, for sure. I feel that. I don't know if they're gonna. Oh, whoa.
But the thing is too, Oklahoma is overrated though. Like even coming in, like we're number 6, but like. I don't know, like I said, we've been letting like Tulane score 35 points and shit.
Y'all ass.
Bitch, you just lost. Y'all just lost. So that means y'all fucking the shit that come out of it.
We should have put a mud hole in y'all ass, but I mean.
It is what it is. Y'all better luck next time, man.
Horns up.
It is what
That's
it
all
is.
I gotta say. But we already messed up the episode. We gotta start with it.
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's alright. Sorry, go ahead.
Alright, man.
Quote of the week. Or whatever. Episode, rather.
We got a very digital episode coming out, episode 8. It's been on some F stuff.
It's just taking its time.
It's taking its time.
But we getting there. You know what I'm saying?
But the quote is, "There's no truth, there's only perception." Gustave Flaubert.
That boy Gustave, man. Yeah. I think that's a
philosopher.
That's a good one.
Drops mic.
Yeah, I like that. But I heard this one dude talk about like how there's many different truths, and he was saying like there's scientific truth, there's objective truth, and then and I guess maybe that's what the perspective thing, like everyone has their own,
right?
Obviously, so like they're not all the same.
So there is no truth.
Yeah, in a way, but then you do have scientific truth, like in the fact that what goes up goes down. But then even then, if you look outside the Earth, we're fucking around in the way that the Earth is sitting right now. We could be upside down. So really, the shit is going up rather than down in the scheme of the what's it called? But since there's gravity, it looks like it's just doing this. This so could be going up against the. You know what I'm saying?
Just nobody knows, dog.
Yeah, I mean.
So I get that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it.
It's a good one. I like it. Keeps it fucking.
You wanted it. Definitely, I'm gonna let you speak on what you was talking about. I got another point, but I mean.
Oh yeah, facts. So I was watching these old conversation between high school students, and they're like all 18, and they're from different parts of Africa. But there's one. It was like a kid from the Philippines, a kid from Gold Coast, Africa, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. Yeah. And they started out with the whole conversation with like. What prejudice is. They're like, what are your prejudices? And these kids are 18. This is in 1957. And they talk about how, like, one dude is Muslim and he hates Hindus. And then there's another one, like, but they're open about it. That's what was so crazy about it. They were just straight, yeah, this is what I feel like. And then the other person was like, but I'm this. And then da-da-da-da-da. And then why do you feel this? And then I'm prejudiced to this. But one dude, he said a fact. He said basically 2/3 of the population at that time made less than $50 a year. In the world, in some of the world. So even now, the stat is if you make $13,000 a year, so someone who works at McDonald's
in the US,
someone who works at McDonald's is in the top 1% of wealth income in the world, and that shit is fucking crazy, bro.
That's insane.
But it just shows you how like our economy and everything is so amplified type shit. So we forget about like all of the way these other countries are living.
No, for real. And like the U.S. blessed for real.
Facts, bro. I saw another thing too. It's like this one dude in I think it's like Honduras or something. He has to work all day for him to even afford a Coke.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a
how it is in
Coca-Cola.
like China and shit, bro. They making like 25 cents an hour in them sweatshops, and we paying $200-$300 for shoes.
And see, and
$1,000
exactly.
for shoes.
And the crazy thing is, you go there and you just be playing soccer with them, and you would think that they have the best life ever. They're not
They're
complaining
so
about
happy.
shit. The more shit you got, excuse me, the more shit you got, the more shit you got to complain about. That's why more money, more problems, bro. You know, that's
Very
why
true.
they say, because I mean, you could fucking, like, if me and you, and like, let's say, like, when we get older, we have a family and shit, we just want to take our family out to a nice restaurant, and we go, and someone, even like now, somebody could fuck up my order, I'm not going to be like, bitch, take my shit back, you stupid whore, why do you think, you know what I'm saying, you fuck up my order, you know, that's not ideal, you know what I'm saying, and, what's it called, but the fact is, the fucking wealth gap between us and other countries is massive, but it's not talked about. So we have all of these problems that we think are problems, you know, with all of these, you know, ideal
shit.
politics and shit like that. This shit really doesn't matter how you look at yourself. We're all humans and shit like that. But when you go to less fortunate countries, they're more spiritual, more morale based than what we got going on over
dead ass.
here.
And just like Cam was talking about with his experience and stuff, he just made a simple quote, and he said, nothing matters. A lot of this shit don't matter.
Facts.
I feel that though, cause bro, we are super blessed. Like we know about these countries. Like you want to go visit countries like fucking Italy, shit like that we know about. But it's how many do we not know about? You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's like I heard that there's people in Brazil, in the Amazon, that don't have, like, that still live that tribal life.
I knew you was about to say that shit.
Bro,
That's crazy.
the people who went out there, they took pictures of their feet, and their feet are more like hands. Their toes and shit are more sprayed out because they don't have shoes, so their fucking shit isn't getting all beat up. Cause like if you look at my shit, my pinky toe is like under my other toe because of hooping and shit.
Yeah.
So like just naturally my shit looks like a fucking bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you go out there in the fucking jungle and shit, their feet are more sprayed out because they have
Tarzan and shit.
Yeah, they have
That's
that running
crazy.
and shit. They have more feel because they're not using shoes.
No, yeah, I definitely feel that. Like just being rougher, just pretty much adapting to the environment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're living like centuries. They've had family and bloodline that passed through within their tribe, and it's working out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like those fucking those shows where people go like live that life for like weeks is so dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to go experiment, like they'll stay in the African tribes.
Yeah,
for like
weeks at a time
really
and shit to
give
get
us a visual of what it's like. That's dope.
But that leads the question to if the people who do go, should they introduce Western ideas? Like, should they start to like think that they need to educate them and start giving them the stuff, or do we leave them alone because they're living a prosperous life within themselves?
No.
So that's a big question. If we should go in and start polluting their minds with the way that we look at the world.
Yeah, I saw. It was a. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
It was It was like an African tribe, and they had cameras. Yeah, they was like trying to push the Americans the fuck out because they was like, you guys just want to record us. You don't help us. Like this, and that. Just like you was saying, just poison their mind and trying to show them like in a way how we live, but it don't matter.
Yeah,
to them,
and that's
that's their way.
That just with them recording and shit. That's just for us to put on the news to show
make
other
some
people
fucking money off some people that need help. Like,
bro, it's bullshit, bro, and that shit's crazy, bro. Just like what. I mean, it's weird because that just brings up the idea of like even having so much of a economical and democracy and all that shit like that. If we take it over there,
educated on it.
Yeah, just I guess having the higher education and then like the way that the world works, or you know, having that stuff is good, but you know, those people that are living in these tribes and stuff like that, untouched when they're not colonized by people, like we not over there fucking with them. They're living like a beautiful life, their own life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's what they know.
Yeah, so and it's beautiful to them. They got their family and shit. They work every day. They find their purposes as humans will do in any situation you put them in. They're gonna find their self a purpose and make something happen.
Bro, it'd be different if like people wasn't making money off of these people.
Yeah.
You know, like if for educational purposes, to where like they saying like, hey, help these people out, like they're living like this. I feel like some channels are like that. Also, some channels are just like
And see, another crazy thing too with that, the dude from that was in the conversation, the one that from he was from like where was he from in Africa? I forget or whatever. But that part of Africa is real influenced by Western life, and he talks about. He said that those Africans that live there are prejudiced to other Africans. They look down on them because they don't live the Western life. They don't have the ideas and shit like that. They don't have the shirts, and they look it down at them. They're like, "Ew, get the fuck off of me," type shit.
I'm glad we talking about this because I'm getting him on the podcast, bro. So me and Malachi, we have a friend in LA. He lives in LA now. He's been I'm about to Google him right now. Watch this. His name Blondie Baruti. He gonna watch this because that's my boy. But Malachi used to this him right here.
Oh, shit.
He bro, he was in Guardian of the Galaxy. Like this one, bro, for real. So I gotta get you on the podcast, brother.
Yeah, come on.
But
man.
he dope as
Where's
fuck.
he from?
He's from Congo.
See.
Bro, so he's got
And how old is he?
He's like 30, I think 30. So let me see. That's bad. I don't know his age, right? I guess.
Nah, I mean we older, so I mean really.
But no,
I just want to know because like
he's
an older dude.
Let me tell you a little bit about him. You know, so he's from Congo. Him and his family, they pretty much escaped. I guess like it was just starting a war in Congo, like they were taking over
French and shit like that.
Yeah, and he didn't have no shoes, and his family like escaped through the jungle like 10,000 miles. Some crazy shit.
That's
like
like
that.
Francis and God.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna either I'm gonna insert like his story on here, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. I just want to bring him on.
Yeah, we better have him on here.
I just want to bring him on, let him tell his story. I'm gonna run y'all down. He got a book out. Like he dope.
That'd be dope because the UFC heavyweight champion right now is from Nigeria, and that's what he had to do. He, like you said, he worked in sand mines when he was 10 years old, all the way until he was 17, and then he was trying to. He escaped a couple times, but then he got caught a couple. The whole story is wild, bro. So it'd be crazy to talk to someone who's lived there, you know what I mean, and get their perspective and get.
He just live in LA.
Because I would like to know you know what I'm saying, like his way whenever he was growing up, like if his parents had some type of prejudice to any other type of African or what other person they had to, because and another thing is like, is it taught or is it based off of experience? But to me, it has to be taught. I would think since like a young age you're getting programmed from like 0 to 7. You're getting programmed.
Keep that program word because I told you I want to talk about something, but I'm gonna just little beep on Blondie. He was supposed to go to the NBA. Like he done some stuff, and now he's got an app out. It's not like Instagram. It's similar to Instagram. He wants. Basically, you control your content pretty much. So, if you want to cover your picture up, you don't want certain people to see it. You want people to see it for a certain amount of time and it disappear. Mm-hmm. It's just dope, bro. It's called B Perk for anybody that want to go check it out.
I know what you're talking about.
Right, that's his app, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, that'd be dope.
He done so much shit, but we gotta get him on here.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
He can talk for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be dope as fuck, man.
But no, you was talking about poison.
Or program.
Program, yeah.
Programming, yeah.
Okay, I didn't damn spilled it, but okay, I had a pinpoint of pretty much parents poisoning their kids. I don't want to use the word poison, but program, whatever you want to call it. So my thing is, okay, you got, for example, we got people having kids at 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
No shade to nobody. I just want to speak on it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? People, my biggest thing is, okay, parents not dealing with their demons, then they raise a kid a certain type of way, and then that kid thinks a certain type of way. So that's my idea. That's my definition of being programmed or poisoned or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got to a point to where I'm open-minded. I want to see. I have it really bad trying to figure out why people do shit. You know?
Yeah.
So
I think
being open-minded about a situation, so trying to see it from my perspective, their perspective, and shit like that. And I feel like it's made me better. Very much so understanding it in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you look, bro, it's if you look at everybody, if they was once a baby, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then what they went through in their life has made them what they are.
Right.
If they're an asshole, you know what I'm saying? Like what you were saying, so someone who is 16 can get pregnant to someone who's 25, and that 25-year-old not know what's going on. He'd be a fuck up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so he ends up beating her in front of the kid, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, just crazy shit.
yeah, all
just
of that shit happens. Yeah, and he is, and that kid is being programmed or poisoned if you want to look at it that way.
Type shit, right?
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. So either he can grow up doing it. This is the cycle either repeats or it can stop with him, you know, or
Right,
him or her, depending on how they want to go. But it's definitely. I mean, it's. I don't know if a problem would be the term for it.
That's why I was trying.
But it is a thing, though. It is a thing. Like when you have someone who's 16 who like the brain hasn't fully developed yet, because they say it stops develop. Like you're fully developed when you're 25. There's so many things that and then there's fucking 16, bro. That's a baby, bro. We babies. We're 20. I'm 23. We babies, bro. We're all babies. Just fucking like so. That to even imagine, even consume, like being able to conceive life at 16 years old
should be fucking illegal.
Yeah, well, it's just I think they're on the way. They're on the way that you know what I'm saying. They're on their way. I would imagine. I mean, they took it away rather. So I don't know. It's just. I don't know if it's programming regardless from like age 0 to 7. I've heard a thing, it was like, show me the kid, I can show you the man. So like, basically, judged off of how your kid behaves, I can tell you how you are type shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A well-behaved kid is a direct reflection of the parents.
I'm gonna say 2 things. So yeah, sometimes in situations like that, your parent will step in and help their kid raise their kid, but then it comes to a point where like the kid's like, and my grandma raised me. Woody woo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And sometimes, and see, that's a perspective. I mean, it really depends on like, because I know you can, let's say like for a scenario, like if they know that they're not equipped right now, like let's say the person is 19 years old and the grandma is willing and has the day to have the kids. So he's like, you know, that person's like, you know what, I'm not at a state yet that I am able to be around my kids 24/7. I can come visit them and shit like that, but they probably shouldn't be around me because I'm still trying to go through my kid stage because I had them at a young age. And so if it makes sense and it works, bro, depending on what the situation is, it just depends, you know. I don't want to be quick to judge somebody for not being around their kids. And at first I was. At first you kind of are. But then when you think about it and you put yourself in that situation, you're like, okay, if my mother is willing, able to be play a role in the raising of the kid, there shouldn't be a problem because regardless they're being loved, and especially if you're not there yet. I'd rather them, you know, but it's gonna be tough. Even that kid is still gonna have to go through it because like, why didn't you want to raise me?
Exactly.
You're still gonna go through it.
This circles back around to like of why people have problems. It's said that like it should be written that a kid should be raised by a father and a mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just like circling back to what I was saying about just being like programmed in a way, it just depends because I've seen situations where it's like the stepdad or dad doesn't really care unless the mom run the show, you know, and so then everybody think like the mom.
Right.
I dude, it's crazy to me.
And I just think
it's not nothing wrong with it. It's not nothing wrong with it, but like. When I've taken back a step and just try to realize why and understand why certain people think certain ways and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not their fault though.
But it's because you were so locked into your perspective that you're like, why the fuck would someone do that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Why the fuck would you do that to me? I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Cause that's a big thing. But I don't know. I feel like that's common.
No, it's very common. And then with our friend group, we big as hell. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like you were saying about a snake and a snake, I'm not calling nobody a snake, but you accept people for who they are.
Yeah,
and you love them in spite.
Yeah, for their character. And then, you know, what are they like? I remember.
And there was a fucking quote. I cannot. It's something like you love in spite or something like that. And then in
spite of the differences,
because some shit like that.
Because of the differences.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy. But no, yeah, for sure. I love. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah, everybody know where we stand now at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
it is
but it
what
is,
it is.
but that's just, you gotta just let their character be their character. You know what I'm saying? You can change people, but then you're gonna end up wasting your time because for the most part, people don't want to be changed until they're ready to change something. So like you be wasting your time, and you're like, why aren't you changing? Why aren't you changing? But like you're wasting your time. Then eventually you become the fool because you're screaming at someone who doesn't want the advice or doesn't want to change the way that they look at things. You know?
just posted something on Instagram that said, "Growth hit different when you tired of your own shit."
Yeah,
that's facts.
Yeah, when you look yourself in the mirror, and you're like, you be fucking up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You be
like you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like actually pull yourself away from the shit that you used to. That's what like stage I'm in right now. Like I'm like, bro, you destroying yourself. You causing your own problems, and I think we talked about that. You causing your own fucking problems.
Yeah, subconsciously you're self-sabotaging and shit for whatever reason.
You didn't have to hear. You didn't have to be here. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. You should just stayed your ass at home. You should have did this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just self-accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's a big thing.
I could go into that shit all day, and I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's just some shit I'm battling with myself.
Yeah, but that ties in with everything because then like the person who goes through having a younger parents and having them learning and shit like that, it really what's weird is like the most interesting people go through the hardest shit in life.
Thanks.
And it's a weird conundrum because then you like whenever you have kids, like we've been through shit, but that's what makes us who we are. So like when we have kids,
bro.
we don't like are giving them certain freedoms to like go make mistakes and go get hurt and go fuck up and doing all that. It's probably gonna be so hard whenever we're fucking actually like have our kid in front of us.
And then,
I would like to
we
think
know better though, right?
Yeah, because we know, because that's how we was raised. We was raised free, and to go do you fuck up, go make mistakes, go do them things. Like
my mom wasn't always like that. She was like, hey,
eventually,
you know what I'm saying? Then eventually, she kicked that door down and said, go bump your head.
I was lucky enough to where my mom was kind of always, for the most part. But then that's because I was different, because I was fucking crippled growing up. So like growing up crippled and shit, being isolated. And as soon as I was able to get the fuck out, my mom's like, go. You know what I'm saying? Why? Like I'm not finna. Yeah, I go.
That just comes from your mom, my mom being amazing women all around. Like. She raised us by herself pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So we like, the critical years, she raised us by herself, you know what I'm saying?
Well, even then, like stepdads are I'm blessed to have them. You know what I'm saying? We're blessed to have them and shit like that. But at the end of the day, that's not your father. And then, so that's still is something in your son.
And you saying, like when you younger, we had a little ignorance.
Yeah, exactly. We just had like a different, like a weird view on it. And that's fucking normal. That's what I was supposed to be or whatever.
Yeah, well,
and that's why like
me personally, I never had my dad. You know, he passed away.
Right.
So I didn't much so like have that outlook on Rodney. You know what I'm saying? But my brother and sister did because they had their daddies in their life for a little bit.
Right. See, and that's the whole fucking thing. See, like it's crazy how like when without explanation. How sometimes when things are simply put, it doesn't really go to.
It goes over.
It doesn't. Well, it doesn't. No, it just doesn't explain the situation the best sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, just to put it simply, even like when you do it yourself, you're like, oh, I'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You're like, I'll be alright. You just put a fucking band-aid of whatever the fuck.
Like we was talking
over the thing. Yeah, it's crazy how we do that shit. Just not even trying.
To water paper though.
I mean that too. Like that too. Just the suppression of it. Yeah.
Let's tie that into the parent thing I was talking about, because I definitely feel like even say for instance I've seen situations where somebody's like you're not ready to have a kid, and then they be like, oh yeah, it saved my life having a kid, but at the end of the day you're still the same person. You do what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it comes to like you fall in love with this kid, but at the end of the day when it start walking,
I mean, you still gonna have your demons and shit. You still gonna have your shit that you're going through.
But I have seen people get better after they had a child too, though. At the same time.
Yeah. I would imagine that. Just my idea of it would fucking be life changing. You know what I'm saying? The way I visualize having a fucking kid, to me, it's life changing instantly. And
it should be.
It should be. I feel like it changed a little bit for everybody, but whenever you're going through personal shit, and and that goes into the depression. Depression is like whenever. Time out.
I didn't tell you. I did tell you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it all like, because that's what that is like. And depression is whenever you're so isolated. Like somebody explained, they were like,
I'm gonna read the dictionary definition too of it.
They're like it's like your dog. Like when you find out your dog died, and that feeling and that's not like times a million isn't the same. It's because it's so isolating. Nothing else matters.
Right.
So whenever you're going through that, it's just so you suppress it because you think that motherfuckers ain't gonna relate to you. So you just push it down because it's so isolating that you don't think anyone else can be going through the thing. You know what I'm saying, that you're going through.
Right.
And so yeah, you just suppress the shit and you say, yeah, I'm good. I'm alright.
All the time, especially as men.
And then every time you do that, you push that bitch down.
I feel like females show their depression way more.
Well, because they're more they're more in
tune with their feelings.
Yeah, they are from a young. They just intellectualize their emotions better than we do. And then and since that's a young thing too, that's how we program too. Like, get up, boy, you be alright. You know what I'm saying? Get up. You acting like a little girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I said. That's why I was talking about the just idea of a man is just to be tough all the time.
Yeah.
And depression is really huge in our generation, bro. And that's what's crazy.
I think social media is a huge thing.
I sniff it out though. I've had like my best like girlfriends be like acting just weird, like like the slightest thing, like leaving the bar early, and you know what I'm saying, just not want to be around people, and I instantly I'm just like, what's wrong? Like, you good? And like I just had one not too long ago. She was just like, I could tell. But the dictionary definition is feelings of severe despondency and dejection. A mental condition characterized by feelings of severe despondency and dejection, typically also with feelings of inadequacy and guilt, often accompanied by lack of energy and disturbance of appetite and sleep. But yeah, like I was saying, bro, I feel like depression is really huge on our generation. I feel like social media will simply get you fucking depressed. Being on there, seeing how somebody living and not being comfortable with where you are in your journey. You know what I'm saying? And comparing yourself to somebody else. Yeah. Just because this person a 21-year-old millionaire, you're like, fuck him, bro.
Yeah, and that's just
start feeling down on yourself and beating yourself down.
Well, that's because like everyone puts their best version of themselves on Instagram. Like they want you. That's like what you want people to see. Yeah. So you're putting out. So like every time like someone has like their whole thing is them flexing the whole time. It's naturally just that. You know what I'm saying? It's that wanting the want of attention and like having your purpose be fulfilled outside of you.
Some people it's indirect though. Like just. Like not wanting attention, like craving it, like some people do, but also just in a way want to feel.
Well, it's just like, bro, they program us through the fucking like button and like the notifications. Your phone's shaking. Oh, somebody said something to me. Somebody liked my shit. Somebody did this. And then there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people. I mean, and the crazy thing is it's just like only 30% of like people on the earth are on Twitter. Yeah. And Instagram and all that shit. So the other 70% ain't on it. That's another thing. Like, it's just so amplified. And it's a fucking echo chamber of fucking everyone being fucking it's just people hating other people, and it's just so much hate, boom, and then amplified, and then you get on there all the time. You see a kid who's fucking 18 and you're fucking 25. You see them in a what's called Bentley cruising, living life and shit like that, doing all this crazy shit. And then that's the shit that you see the most of because it has the most likes. People like it the most. It's boom, boom, boom. It's in people's face.
They gonna show you that shit because it's more relevant.
Yeah, they gonna boom, put that in your face. Boom, put this in your face. Put this in your face. And it's also like having all this blue light, and like I said, we disconnecting like that too. So even just what certain things do to our brain, because bro, if you look at people's hours on how much they on their phone, if you like check on their phone,
you can go check.
There's some people that have 14 hours
a day,
17 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Like even like mine be 6. You know what I'm saying? I don't be on social media all the time, but I'll be on YouTube, and in a way that's a social media too, because when I be looking at like certain conversations and I'm be watching and I'm over here looking through the comments, seeing everyone hate each other and shit. Subconsciously, that's doing something to me too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy that shit has a name. Like,
yeah, it's weird, bro. It's a weird thing, but I mean, and that's what it is. If you really, bro, because I went a whole year and a half without any social media, bro, and it was beautiful, But it was beautiful, bro. Like, you don't give a fuck.
No, not like tough. I'm saying that's a big ass step. Like a lot of people cannot do that. Like I don't have Twitter, bro. Like Twitter is one thing that fucks my head up. I can see something and get so fucking mad in my real life, and it's not real, but it affects my mood. And I realized that at a young age. I haven't had Twitter for like 3-4 years. And I fucking hate Twitter, bro.
Yeah, them hoes just...
I fucking hate Twitter for some odd ass reason. I
Because that one you can get on the hell talk
and really voice yourself. You really feel like people saying this shit.
And
you know what I'm
people
saying?
like Facebook's one too, because Facebook you don't have a character limit.
Oh yeah, I don't get on that shit.
Facebook
Like,
you can do as much as you want. I mean, luckily like the echo chamber that I have on Facebook is all literally all family and good people.
Yeah,
and shit.
same.
I don't see anything wild on it. When you get on Twitter, you see crazy shit, like just people mad talking shit about whatever. You're like, man, this is so
toxic.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just fucking, it's just, I mean, and if you're, you know, and it just subconsciously puts that shit in your mind too, so.
It's just a fucking thought that they just fucking takes me off, bro. I don't get on Facebook like that, because, I mean, well, I do when it's like family, like when we got events, or like the Text OU party or something, or it's just to post a podcast, or post some pictures, do a little photo,
that's the only reason I even got back on social media.
I only got family on there though, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Social media is the only reason I had it was because like rap and the podcast and stuff like that, and really, I mean, then Facebook too to check up on people because it is cool. But other than that, bro, this shit is what it is. I think eventually everything's gonna come back around, and we're gonna adapt to it, and then we're gonna learn from it, and we're gonna get good. But just these having conversations like this, and the people talking about it and realizing it within themselves, and changing the way that they look at social media and let it be a tool for fun, you know what I'm saying? Because it's dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea of it is amazing, like all the social medias. But it's just people getting on there who really lack people connection. Because like it's the same thing. Like it's like I could call you a fucking fat bitch on Twitter and there's no disconnect. I'm just, you stupid fat bitch. Drop my phone and I'm now back on this. I wouldn't tell that person in public. I wouldn't in face to face. I wouldn't call somebody a fat bitch, bro. But since there's a disconnect because you're not in you're not. And we're supposed to be talking like this. We're supposed to communicate person to person. You know what I'm saying? Not over the fucking
but just like we was talking
crazy shit that we be doing.
Even the cell phone shit, all this shit still new, bro. We was on MySpace. When the fuck MySpace go out?
That shit was like 09.
Well, when we was in high school. No.
It started like 09. I remember being on the hell like 09.
Yeah, okay. But like, fam, that's only 11 years ago.
I know, or 12 years ago.
Even
whatever
if,
the fuck it is.
Even if. Shit's changed quick.
Facts. Shit brand
like
new.
The first damn Instagram icon was, you know what I'm saying? They was just showing that shit. That shit was like from 2008.
When did iPhone came out? The first iPhone was what, 07? So like, and that's when shit started changing. That's when shit started changing. It's like the birth of the iPhone.
I remember getting on the iPod full and getting on Instagram.
There's like a direct correlation with that shit and like how the world started to change in 07 whenever we had all of this shit.
Yeah.
It's wild, bro. This shit wild as fuck, dog.
Just like we was saying, that shit's crazy. This shit's changed real fast. But yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so everything's speeding up. So like us adjusting to it and figuring it out, the best ways to do it, and you know, because there's a lot of shit I'll be on crazy on, like, they have, like, Russian bots and shit on Twitter and shit, like, fake things that go in and, like, for instance, there's this one that had, like, there was a one Russian bot, or Russian web thing that organized a Republican meeting and then, like, organized across the street a Muslim, like, thing. And it was literally someone who was not even in America and organized the whole thing so they could be across from the street and then start chanting at each other and getting at each other and shit like that. They're causing chaos from a whole nother fucking country. Do this shit,
bro. Look,
so that's a problem that's a huge problem.
I can also see this.
That's why Facebook gets sued all the time.
You know, like you said we was gonna like kind of catch up and figure this shit out. I feel like it's so much shit going on, and to think about like where the fuck does it stop so we can catch up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you was just saying somebody stirring some shit up from Russia in the U.S. Like. Yeah. Because of a fucking app. And not even just to focus on the app, bro. It's just like real life shit going on. Yeah, it's rare that people have like no responsibilities on a day-to-day basis to where they can really just settle down on themselves and try to figure some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, you gotta work.
Yeah.
You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Oh, I had a baby on accident. Gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the American fucking life. That's so crazy.
I guess, but that serves most people. Is like that's the American dream. Like if you think about it, like to work, have a family, have your own place and shit like that. That's the American dream. Like that's
people
what
kill to get over.
Yeah, and that's what the idea is. But
And now that you
There's
said
just
that money thing, though, I see why they killed to get over
Yeah, that's
there.
what, like, they're over here like, oh, I can work a whole week and get $700 or whatever the fuck. Like, especially like Mexicans, they're like, I can go over there and work how much? And you know,
Flip the
like,
pesos,
yeah,
right?
and then send it. Yeah, exactly. They know what it is.
I
but
used to work with a dude, just doing valet, bro, and he was sending his family like $100, couple $100 a week. It was like he was providing.
Yeah, providing for them, bro.
Providing,
yeah,
bro.
Shit's wild. And shit, that's our neighbor. Mexico is our neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And it was right behind us. Like, that was right there. And but yet there's chaos right across the border with the cartel and all that shit. Like, it's crazy how wild that place is and how it's just right there, right next to us. But yeah, we had troops in fucking Afghanistan and shit for fucking 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Rather than fucking with the shit that we got literally right next to us, our neighbors and shit.
That's what I was talking about too. I mean, I don't want to too much get into that because I mean, we as America gonna do what the fuck we want to do always. But why don't we handle our own fucking business first? You know what I'm saying? Settle our goddamn problems first.
Their idea is that if they don't go over there and stop it there, then they're gonna come over here and hit us blindsided. You never know, but that's why like Cat Williams has a bit on it where he talks about like, you know what I'm saying, how are we at war and how are they insurgents? Well, we don't. He was like, tell me the Afghanistan uniform. He said, draw me a picture of that bitch right now. We've never seen it. I've never seen an Afghan troop ever. But yeah, they can do that. They can describe us perfectly.
Talibans look like though.
But not even. They haven't been over here. We only know them because of this shit. We only see what they look like. They don't. They are not over here doing nothing. But that's what their idea is the fact that like. So like imagine, take their idea and put it inside your body. And like if you have like a cancer or whatever, and like they know that they can happen, rather than treatment, they're preventative. This is their idea. So they're preventing these other ways of looking at the world that are going on over there. They're implementing theirs so that doesn't come over here and blindside us what we have going. That's their idea. It's a prevention thing. And I don't know I don't know. I'm
just big on like handling shit when that time comes.
No, me too. As an individual,
go reach for nothing.
As an individual, me too.
If it get there. I'll handle it when it get there.
Yeah, but that's the difference between you looking at yourself and then whenever you're in charge of a government. Yeah, you're in charge of a country, a whole 350 million people.
No, yeah, because I feel that because if we do get attacked, we are going to lose a couple people before we react.
Yeah, like I said, there's this one quote that says like, I'm a socialist with my family. I'm a Democrat I'm a Republican when it comes to like my family, or not my family, my money.
Yeah.
Just having these other ideas, like whenever you have a different scale of people. So like if we have a community that starts with 30 people, the idea that we have will be different, because then you can have kind of that socialist. Everyone breaks bread. We all trade each other and shit like that. But whenever you can take it up to, and you take it up to 300,000, you know what I'm saying? Now you have to. Everyone has to start fending for themselves a little bit. Where there's no breaking bread as much because there's so many people. That's just the way that shit evolves from having people. I think that needs to be looked at a lot when people think about shit like this. That it needs to be the evolution of ideas when it comes to a certain volume of people. Everything's gonna change between each country. Like Ghana's a different size than Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna function differently based on the size of them.
Yeah.
And the population.
So back to the money thing you was talking about how much money make. So do you remember when we was talking about the population of China?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's a lack of jobs that they do? Nah.
No,
China. That's my own question.
Yeah,
nah,
China.
I don't think so.
China has the So they got 1 billion people.
That shit's insane to me.
Yeah, 1 billion people, and then because everyone does work there, it's just like economically it's a little different because
like shit, I guess. Because I was thinking about a lack of jobs, but at the same time, there's no fucking way.
I mean, well, think about everything that we have that's made from China, and recently there's more American-made shit. But before, like especially when we grew up, every toy that we had was all made China. You know what I'm saying? So like all the factory jobs that like. Whenever in the early 20s and shit, when we had the Industrial Revolution and everything, we had all those factories, everything's being made here, but then they found out it was cheaper over there, and then they sent all that shit. That's why the jobs is crazy, and then so they pay what they pay. I don't know how it translates between the American currency, between their currency, but there is a...
Maybe it's 25 cents to us.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know how it really works, but to them they could be living, I don't know, because I've never been over there. I just know that they're cramped and they do, like, the way that they even drive. That's why they say, like, you know, Asians drive crazy. It's because there's so many of them. They do have their own, like, like, they have their own ideas of the way shit works compared to what we got going, because there's more motherfuckers driving, there's more motherfuckers on the road. You know what I'm saying? There's just, there's people's on llamas driving, walking by and shit, and then there's a car zooming. There's a nigga on a buggy. You know what I'm saying? There's just constantly different crazy shit going on.
I do want to go back on what I said, though. I'm not saying China has a lack of jobs, because I don't fucking know. So, excuse me on that. But with as much shit as they produce as an American, to see everything I've ever touched made in China is fucking crazy.
But like, you could take that. You could take what you were saying though and put it in the Philippines or another country that's like that. You know, because China's just so huge. But when you go to like the Philippines, and then they don't have like economically the shit that we got. Like, they still live in huts, like, for the most part. They live in huts and shit like that. Because I listen to someone who talks about her, like, because she's from the Philippines, so she talks about...
Joe Rogan shit?
No, not that one. This is another podcast I listen. But when she talks about her experience, the shit's crazy. And even, like, people who still are over there, they have a different view of fucking everything. You know what I'm saying? And, but yet they're still westernized a lot. Like, the way that they speak and the way that they talk. Like, for the most part, they speak... English, you know what I'm saying? Like, English is the main thing. But they have their own little language too that they be throwing around.
But you open my eyes too about the separation of, like, some people live like shit, some people live rich.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then there too.
I can see that.
Yeah, and then like in the Philippines there is a gap because there's rich people there, but like that separation between rich and poor is so vast that the life is completely different. And then if you look at America, that's what we're heading to. It's like it's starting to do this. Like the richer are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And then so like the gap is slowly getting wider and wider, and that's what like where a lot of people are trying to figure out how to tax the rich and give to the poor. But I don't know, it's a thing that we're still working out because, like, you know what I'm saying, this is all brand new. The idea of America is brand new, only barely 300 years old, not even, you know what I'm saying? So like the idea of this shit, the idea is still fucking fresh, man. We're still fucking
everything grows, everything changes. Shout out Kevin Gates, he said that everything grows, everything changes, bro. And it's going rapid at this point.
Yeah, technology made it speed up increasingly.
Fucking fast, dude.
Like when you look at the like how old the universe and how old the world is, comparative, like what is the most shit has happened in this little gap of time compared to the vast time, you know what I'm saying, that the world
has been
even like
country for
even people been on the planet, you know what I'm saying, like everything that we've like pretty much achieved has been in a small gap like this big compared to the grand scheme of everything, and that's fucking crazy. You know, so we got to give ourselves a little bit of leeway when we're going through this shit, when we're figuring all this shit out. You know, give ourselves a little credit.
Own path, bro. That's all. I want to close this shit I was saying this, man. Everybody got their own path.
Facts.
Don't let nobody tell you how to live. Sometimes, hey, take a little break from social media, because I'm about to. Very soon. I'm probably going to be only posting podcast stuff. And yeah, bro, take care of yourself. Take care of your brain.
Take care of yourself.
Talking about depression, take care of your brain, man.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. Do what you need to do.
Lil Tracy, Open Mic, a.k.a. Queen Latifah, a.k.a. Lauren Hill, a.k.a.
Juice WRLD,
a.k.a. you know what I'm saying, fucking Amy Winehouse. You know what I'm saying? We love you. We out this bitch. God bless.
I hate the damn.